Welcome to another Motion Metrics webinar. This is your host Cristobal, and today we are going to be looking a little bit more in depth on how to connect to our systems using the SSH protocol. Okay, so let's get started. We are going to talk about SSH protocol today. I am going to perform an exercise on how to restart or reboot a CPU remotely just using a one command line over the SSH communication protocol. Why do we need this? There is occasions or scenarios where the access or the network on site in a remote site is limited and there's not enough bandwidth for us to use our VNC and transmit all that data to see the live feed of the cameras. So network is very limited, so we go and use this SSH protocol in order to save data or in order to not saturate the bandwidth. How do we connect to computers today? That computer that we are connecting, either if it's a ShovelMetrics, LoaderMetrics CPU or a LoaderMetrics SC3D, we have to connect remotely. Let's say I am in an office in Vancouver and this computer is in a site on a pit in Arizona or in South Africa. I have to connect from Canada to the network in the mine, and for that I would need a VPN connection. So once I connect using my VPN, I will be in the mine network. So once I am in the mine network, there might be one or two servers that I have to jump to get to the local mine or network that is in the mine or in the pit. And once I am in the same subnet, I will be able to connect to my ShovelMetrics, LoaderMetrics SC3D computer. So the key part in here is that not only for SSH but for VNC or for Windows sharing, we need to be in that same subnet. The computer that I am connecting from to the computer that I am connecting to. So my local laptop in my office in Canada has to be in the same subnet that the ShovelMetrics computer will be in the mine. So VPN, that's the first step. Second step is connecting to that mine server using our RDP protocol, and once we are in that same server, in the mine server, we will have access to our ShovelMetrics CPU either through VNC or through SSH or Windows file share. Okay, so let's get down to business. First step is to connect from your computer using a VPN to the mine or the network you are going to access. At this time I am in my house connecting using a VPN, a Sophos VPN, connecting to the Vancouver office. I am waiting to connect, and now that I have my green light, it means that I have established connection through my VPN. Okay, so once we have established connection on the VPN side, we proceed to use our RDP protocol or remote desktop connection on Windows to connect to our server on the mine, and in this case in the office in Vancouver, but it's the same thing. Server either in the mine or in a different office, I have to use my RDP to connect. Okay, now I am inside my server, either mine server or office server, but inside the server. I already have a ShovelMetrics, or in this case a LoaderMetrics CPU being connected by VNC. So I already connected to the CPU using VNC, just for you guys to be aware of that rebooting process. one key service that has to be running in the background is, of course, your Git-bash SSH service. So I am making sure, going to my task schedule, that this service is running and it is pointing to the correct file. We should have this fixed in our newer images or VEOS images, but it's always worth double checking that this service is indeed running in order to connect through SSH. I am going to attach the file, the document that you can follow step by step in order to make sure that the Git-bash service is indeed running. Now I'm going to open my Git-bash application. If I don't have this installed, I won't be able to connect through SSH. So this is very important. Git-bash application has to be installed on the server. So again, by hitting the right click on your mouse anywhere, either if it's in the desktop or inside a folder, you can open Git-bash by selecting that icon. Once you open Git-bash, you will get a terminal that works with commands, similar to what the DOS or the terminal on OS X do. I am going to add our Git-bash terminal on the left side and our CPU connected using VNC on the right side in order for you to be able to compare the commands or the restart command that we are going to apply on our terminal. It will be visible on the right hand side on the VNC application. Okay, so let's zoom in a bit on the Git-bash window. First thing we will have to do is connecting to the ShovelMetrics or LoaderMetrics CPU, which you only use a simple command. You go SSH space MMI at the IP of that CPU, and MMI should either be MMI or MMI CPU. It depends on the version of system you are connecting to, but I would try MMI or MMI CPU using capitalized letters. Then it will request the password, which is non-capitalized motion. Now we can confirm that our connection has been successful, since we see that MMI at MMI CPU. Once connected to our CPU, we are going to write the shutdown command, which is shutdown -R, and we are going to hit enter in order for the reboot to take place. Once we hit enter, we can see that instantly in our VNC application, the right window, the system gives you a warning saying, hey, you are about to be signed out, meaning that Windows is restarting. Then we have restarted our CPU just by hitting a command line under the SSH protocol. We only have to wait for a minute or so in order for the CPU to reboot, and the system will be back online for you to do more troubleshooting. So we will see different commands in the upcoming sessions, so get on board with the SSH protocol. That is all I had prepared for this session. I hope you were able to understand what the SSH protocol is being used for these days. We are going to do other types of troubleshooting, moving files around, changing folders, collecting data, and this is just the beginning. Thanks for watching. Let's connect in a future episode. Have a good day, stay safe, and bye bye.